In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a double crochet. If you've watched my previous video on how to do a single crochet, I did show you how to create the slip knot and the chain stitch. But if you did not watch it, let me go ahead and review. I'm going to show you an easy way to create a slip knot today. So what you want to do is you want to lay your yarn on the table. You want to pick up the yarn here on with your tail. Just wrap it around until you have a circle. And then you see where the yarn crosses over right here. Just go ahead and pick it up. Put your index finger and thumb through the circle. Grab that little tail there and hold on to it. Put your left hand, grab the tail and strand of yarn that's attached to the skein. And hold on to those while you pull that loop right through that circle to create your slip knot. Now go ahead and insert your hook into there and adjust it down to the size you need by pulling on the tail. And there you have it. We are ready to begin our chain stitch. So let's go ahead and chain 10. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, so we have our 10 chains, and just to review, if you're new to crocheting yet, these will look like the interlocking bees. So let's go ahead and count to make sure that we have 10 chains before we continue. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Now, when you're going to start your first row of double crochets, we are going to skip the first 3 chains and start our work in the 4th chain. So you're going to skip this one, 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4th one. So with single crochet, remember in the previous tutorial we inserted the hook, then we did a yarn over. Well, with double crochet, you're going to do a yarn over first, then insert it into your chain. So skip 1, 2, 3, we're working into the 4th, so go ahead and insert it into your chain. And remember in the previous video how I said that you want to make sure you just have that one strand, because you're inserting it between, right above that back ridge, that back bump on there. And then go ahead and do a yarn over again, and you're going to pull it right through that chain until you have 3 loops on your hook. So do a yarn over again, and you're going to pull that yarn over through both loops, the first 2 loops, and you're going to leave this last loop on here. So just go ahead and pull it through the first 2 loops, and then you have 2 more loops. Now you're going to do a yarn over and pull it through the last 2 loops. And there you have it. That is your double crochet. Now this first one where we skipped the first 3, that's going to count as your first double crochet. So we actually have 2 double crochets so far. Now go ahead and do yarn over, then insert it into the next chain. And then you're going to do a yarn over and pull that yarn over through that chain until you have 3 loops on your hook. And we'll go ahead and do a yarn over, and you're going to pull that yarn over through the first 2 loops, and you're going to leave this 3rd one on the hook. So go ahead and pull that through the first 2, and now you have 2 loops on your hook again. Do a yarn over, and you're going to pull that through the last 2 loops. There's your double crochet. Alright, let's go ahead and do the next one. Do a yarn over, then insert it into your chain. Do a yarn over and pull that through the chain until you have 3 loops on your hook. We'll do a yarn over and we're going to pull it through the first 2 loops, leaving this last loop on the hook. And now you have 2 loops on your hook. Do a yarn over and pull it through the last 2 loops to create your double crochet. Now do a yarn over, insert it into the next chain. Do a yarn over and pull that yarn over through the chain until you have 3 loops on your hook. And we'll do a yarn over. We're going to pull it through the first 2 loops. Now we have 2 loops on our hook, and we're going to do a yarn over and pull it through the last 2 loops. And that completes your double crochet. Alright, let's begin the next double crochet. Do a yarn over, then insert it into the chain. Do a yarn over and pull the yarn over through the chain until you have 3 loops on your hook. You'll then do a yarn over towards you, and you're going to pull that yarn over through the first two loops, leaving that last one on the hook, and then do a yarn over and pull it to the last two loops to finish your double crochet. Now let's go ahead and do a yarn over, insert it into the next chain, yarn over and pull it through the chain until you have 3 loops on your hook, and then do a yarn over and pull that yarn over through the first 2 loops, leaving this last one on, and then do a yarn over and pull it through the last 2 loops to create your double crochet. And then we just have one more chain to work in this row, so do a yarn over, insert it into the last chain, yarn over, pull it through the chain until you have your 3 loops on your hook. You'll do a yarn over and you'll pull it through the first 2 loops, leaving this last one on, and now you have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull it through the last 2 loops, and there you have your double crochet. Alright, so we are ready to turn our work and start the second row. So you want to go ahead and your tail is now on the left side, so when you turn it, your tail is going to be on the right side. And you want to make sure that when you turned it, that your tail is hanging downward and not up. Because if it's up, that means not only did you turn it, but you flipped your work upside down. So now that we've turned it, it should be on the right side, hanging downward. Alright, so we now are going to create our second row of double crochet. So we need to bring the height of the second row to the same height of the first row that we just finished. So to do that, we need to chain 3 stitches. So we're going to do chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Perfect. Now that's called our turning chain, and that is going to count as our first stitch. So that's going to be considered our first double crochet. So we're not going to insert it into this first one. We're going to insert it into the next one. So do yarn over, insert it into the top of the stitch, and then do a yarn over, pull that yarn over through the stitch until you have 3 loops. Do a yarn over, and you're going to pull it through the first 2, leaving the last loop on the hook. So pull it through the first 2, and then you have 2 loops on your hook. Do a yarn over and pull that through the last 2 to create your double crochet. Alright, so we're going to do another one. Yarn over, insert it into the next chain, and you want to make sure that when you insert it, that you're picking up both the front and the back loops. So you should have 2 strands of yarn if you've inserted it into the correct spot. So now go ahead and do a yarn over, pull it through the stitch until you have your 3 loops on the hook. We're going to do a yarn over, and we're going to pull that through the first 2 loops, leaving this last loop on the hook. There we go, and then we're going to do a yarn over and pull it through the last 2, creating our double crochet. Alright, let's do a yarn over, insert it into the next stitch, yarn over and pull that right through that stitch until you have your 3 loops on your hook. And then we're going to do a yarn over, and we're going to pull that yarn over through both of the first 2 loops, leaving this last one on the hook. So go ahead and pull that through the first 2 loops, and then do a yarn over and pull it through the next 2 loops to create your double crochet. Alright, so then we're going to do that again in the next one. Yarn over, insert it into the next stitch, yarn over and pull it through until you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to do a yarn over and pull it through the first 2, leaving this last one on the hook. Do a yarn over and pull it through these 2, and there's your double crochet. Alright, so do a yarn over, insert it into the next stitch, and then pull that through until you have 3 loops on your hook, and do a yarn over, pull that through the first 2, and then yarn over, and then the next 2. Alright, so we're going to do a yarn over, insert it into the next, oops, that slipped off, we'll do that again, yarn over, insert it into the next stitch, and pull off a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to do a yarn over, and pull that through the first 2 loops, leaving this last one on, and then do a yarn over, and pull it through the last 2. And there you have it, we have completed 2 rows of double crochet. So if you watched my previous video, we did 2 rows of single crochet, And let me go ahead and compare that to the 2 rows. So here's 2 rows of single crochet, and here's 2 rows of double crochet. So you can see that 2 rows of single crochet are about the same height as 1 row of double crochet. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial today and that you found it helpful. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel. That way you'll get a notification next time I upload a video. Until then, happy crocheting!